Hello and welcome to Super Rules 101, where the Super Ring is never done. My name is Xavier Lee. For those of you who don't know me, I'll be your host. And welcome to the final day of Power Month. Now, I've been holding off this video for a little while, not knowing when I was going to post it, but now I'm going to post it on the final day of Power Month because I feel like it's only, appropriate. And this Power Month has kind of been lackluster, but I want to say is one of the best Power Months that I've ever experienced, thanks to the Power Ranger fandom, Ranger Liz for making a hashtag for every day of Power Month, and all the other Power Rangers creators who came together and just made the best out of nothing. I know we didn't get a lot of releases, but we did get Cosmic Fury stuff, which I'm going to talk about in this video, and talk about more about Power Month as a whole at the very end of the video. So today we are going to be talking about obviously Cosmic Fury reveals that were revealed, such as the screenshots that were revealed last week, as well as that 12-second preview clip, and as well as a 48-second preview clip that was briefly covered. I don't know if I said this. My name is Xavier Lee, for those who don't know me, and I'll be your host. And we're going to hop right on into it. The first thing that we're really just going to be discussing and talking about is the 12-second preview clip. Now, this preview clip was on Netflix's up and coming list for their new shows coming up in September and stuff, and this was kind of put in the montage, and I feel like this is very important to note when going into talking about all these reveals and stuff. So we're going to react. I've already seen it, but I'm gonna watch it with you guys, and then we're gonna talk about it after it's done. So yeah, yippee-ki-yay, let's dive back on into this trailer clip.
It's morphin' time! Ring to Morphin Grid!
Ha! Hilarious!
Dino Fury Power!
Alright, so going back to the video, you can clearly see that Amelia is already taking her leadership role by leading this, morphing sequence. And one thing I really want to point out when it comes to this preview clip is Ion and Izzy. Why are they the only two Rangers there? Where's Javi and where's Ollie? Now I'm going to talk about Javi and why I think he's not in this specific clip in another image we're going to talk about later on in this video. But Ollie, he is rumored to be the villain of this series, and in the title sequence, which we broke down, go watch that video if you haven't seen it already. He was the only one not smiling in that title sequence, which means that's a telltale sign of being a villain. So yeah, and then we see Billy in this morphing sequence. He's with the Rangers already. I think he's going to be the mentor of this season. And y'all think I'm crazy for Cosmic Fury is going to be getting a second part, but I personally think it will. With evidence I'll show you later on in the video. But yeah, we got the new villains. We got one of them which looks like she's taking a selfie. She kind of looks goofy, I'm not even gonna lie, but what Power Ranger villains aren't goofy? And then we have Lord Zedd's new Z-Putty type things with that Lord Zedd helmet, like we broke down a couple months ago when that leaked image first revealed. And then we got a Q-Ranger villain on the side. This villain next to Lord Zedd is a Q-Ranger villain. I thought we weren't going to be using Q-Ranger villains. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Who knows? But we kind of do have to use Q-Ranger villains if we're using, Zord fight footage from Japan. Anyway, I digress. And one major thing I'm going to talk about is Lord Zedd's voice. It looks bad. It sounds bad. I don't mean to, give hate to the voice actor the way the old voice actor Andrew Lang was given, but in comparison to Andrew Lang, who is a Power Rangers legend, he was Vengex, he was Evox. His voice is more menacing, and this is bad. He doesn't sound good. This version of Lord Zedd is supposed to be the version of Lord Zedd that's in his prime, like the one that's in the comics, and this ain't it. His suit looks great, but his voice is massive suit. He kind of sounds like a chipmunk. I'm sure the person who's voice acting is a great voice actor, but not for this role. Not everybody's made for every role that they play. Anyway, I digress. Hope you guys get what you deserve. Those of you who complained it because it was a famous TikToker that was bullying Andrew Lang, and there were a bunch of YouTubers who didn't like Andrew Lang's voice, but I personally liked it. It was different, and of course we'll never get Robert Axelrod's voice back again, but it is what it is. Now going to these photos, the first one we're going to start off with is this Cosmic Fury morphing sequence photo, and we get to see up close and personal these morphers. These power morphers look really cool. It has a lightning bolt on the side. I really want to make a version of this. To wear out to a special event I'm going to in October. Those of you who can guess down in the comments below. And one thing I want to note in this picture is Ollie is wearing black. Ollie is not a person who wears the color black very often. This is kind of symbolizing his villainous arc because, you know, Javi is a character that wears black because he is the Black Ranger. And speaking of Javi, what is with this arm, right? We noticed in the other preview clip that he was not, you know, present. I think he got his arm ripped off by Lord Zed. Honestly, I think his arm was ripped off because he's seen in every Cosmic Fury photo with this arm. We never see him without it. I feel like he gets his arm ripped off. I feel like that's going to be a very gory point to touch on with Power Rangers. And then also I want to note that Fern is here, and that's super exciting because we love Fern. And everybody looks great and killer in their outfits, especially Amelia leading the charge in her red outfit. And another thing I want to note is how Zeta is not here. He's not here at all. And then, I don't know if this is important, but we have pillars in the back that kind of remind you of the green candle from MMPR that got rid of Tommy's powers. That could be me reaching, but anyway, we see a lot of footage on this planet. What is this planet? Is my question, and we'll talk about that once we get to another photo. Now, we have this other photo of Amelia demorphing her helmet off. I think this is when they first get their Cosmic Fury Ranger powers, and she depowers and demorphs for the first time. To like kind of sink in that nostalgia and create new nostalgia for the new generation. That, like, you know, dramatic moment. And she looks great. She looks cool. And one thing I want to note is that this is the Dino Fury base. And in Dino Fury, they made a reference to them making the base into a spaceship and how long it would take, according to Solon, their dinosaur robo mentor. Right? And as we look into the background, this looks like a window over here. This looks very much like a window. And it looks like they are on another planet. So, obviously, it wouldn't make sense for them to use the Cosmic Combo Raptor key to go constantly traveling there and back and forth to space. So, I'm assuming that they're in space right now, according to that window shot that I think is there. So, yeah, who knows if their Zord is going to end up being, like, their ship is going to end up being a Zord. Because that's how it worked in Kyuranger. Like, their ship that they flew around the galaxy in ended up becoming a Zord by the end of the season. We don't know if we're going to be doing that in Cosmic Fury. We know that a lot of the Zords are going to be used, but not all of them from our knowledge. So yeah, moving on to the next photo. We have Amelia, Javi, Ion, and Izzy. This photo is not as prevalent, but I want to note the background. This background does not seem on Earth. Seem like it's taken on Earth. None of these photos do, because it seems like wherever they are is very green, and it seems like it's not bothered by, you know, the existence of sentient beings, if that makes sense. It seems very calming, and if people live there, they're very calm and at peace with one another, and the Rangers in this instance are chaos. And one thing I do want to note with the whole Cosmic Fury orbs, because that's what they're going to call the Qtamas this season if they use them, they're called the Cosmic Fury orbs, and when they morph, they have this new, you know, shiny power effect, and I really like that. And another thing I want to note that's not as important, but something I want to note, is how Amelia's wearing a pink jacket and a red top and like a pinkish belt to represent that she was a Pink Ranger. Now she's the Red Ranger, and I don't know if that's important, but it is. But going back to this planet shot in the background, I just want to say that in Hyperforce, Marvin and Joshi were from a planet called Cayenne, and Cayenne directly correlates to Uchu Sentai Kyuranger, which is a Super Sentai counterpart to Cosmic Fury. And this is where the Cosmic Fury Rangers or the Qtamas or the Kyuranger powers come from in the Super Sentai. And I think that's where we are here. So if we see Marvin or Joshi, I wouldn't be surprised, because this is their home. This would be their home planet if this is the planet Cayenne. And in Hyperforce, Marvin said that he was inspired to be the Red Ranger by a ranger that was on his whole planet of Cayenne. That I think he said something along the lines of that reminded him of the galaxy or something like that. That could just be me reaching, but he says something along those lines. So that very well could be a Cosmic Fury Ranger. It could be Amelia, because since Hyperforce takes place in the future, Hyperforce takes place in the future, it could be a descendant of Amelia or a person with these powers. So yeah. Moving on to the next photo, we have what seems like it's taken right after this morphing shot photo, it seems like this happens right after because they're in the same configuration. Now, I just want to say that these two photos kind of look very like fan series esque, because it's a behind the scenes photo. It's not like taken from the actual episode. As you can tell, evidenced by the lighting and the way everything looks. I'm a film buff, for those of you who don't know. But yeah, they got the weapons everywhere. They got the weapons out, and honestly, Amelia looking like Thor with her hammer, Ion with his weird sword blaster arm cannon thing, Izzy with her daggers, reminiscent of Trini from Mighty Morphin, and then we got Javi with his axe, and again with his arm. What is with this arm? We're gonna figure it out soon because we got 30 days until Cosmic Fury comes out, and I'm super excited. But yeah, there's this photo. I kind of like it, kind of don't, because the padding on their suit kind of looks off. Like Amelia's looks fine, but Ion's looks kind of bulky and weird. But you know, it depends on what the suits look like in action. Can't really complain that much because I haven't really seen the actual show. So yeah, and then we had, I think this is the last picture. No, it's not. It's not. We have Amelia, Javi, and Ion again. I think they get their powers before they meet Fern and give her the Orange Ranger powers. We have them in these weird Halloween costumes. It kind of reminds you of at the beginning of the Necessary Evil arc in the Power Rangers comics. Trini, Zach, and Jason, the Omega Rangers, went undercover, and very much how do I say this? They like crashed a villain party, right, and got found out. This is kind of what this is giving off, because Ion has this little face on his costume, and that kind of reminds me of the Dinosaurs villains, because they all had like Shakespeare mask faces on their helmets, and they're all very like skeleton themes. As you can see, that they're like skeletons all over everybody's costumes. Izzy has like the whole black strip all over her mouth, and they're wearing these weird costumes. And Simon Bennett said that there would be no filler, so it kind of would be weird if this was like a Halloween type episode, even though Halloween is coming up. I think it's reminiscent of that, but I think they're going to be crashing like a haunted party. And honestly, I think these 3 photos are going to be taking place right before they meet Fern and give her the powers. And notice again how Ion is not in any of these three photos, which means something is off. And he either betrays them at the beginning of the season, or they find out that they're betraying him, that Ollie is betraying the Rangers in the middle of the season. So yeah, ignore the photos on my device. I'm doing other things. We already looked at this photo. It was the Orange Ranger Fern costume. Go check my video out where I broke down this entire photo and my thoughts on it. It's a great video. Go watch that video. Link at the end of the video to it. So yeah, and then the last photo I want to look at is this photo that was on Instagram, posted by Crazy Samurai 71. So this is going to be I'm assuming right before they get their Cosmic Fury powers, because it has all of the Cosmic Fury symbols, all of like the constellation symbols, in their American symbol versions, right? Because you can see the chameleon, you can see the gold symbol, which is like a balance. And then you can see the shark down over here in between Amelia's legs, and then you can see a bunch of symbols on the top. You can't really see exactly what they are, but you know they're there, which leads me to my next point. I think that they're going to be more than just the 7 Cosmic Fury Rangers. I think they're going to actually do all 12 Q Rangers, and give them their own versions and own suits in this series, because they have all of these in this ancient pedestal. Because I don't think that all the Zords are just gonna have this mystical tie connection to them and not have a ranger attached to them, if that makes sense. I think all of these are going to be housing these specialty rangers, and that's where I think the second part is going to come in. I think the second part of Cosmic Fury is going to come in when at the end of the season all the rangers are done and they just want to go back to Earth and live out their normal lives. And I feel like they're going to let Fern keep her powers, and then give the Cosmic Fury powers to people they meet along the way, because I feel like the Cosmic Fury powers are very much going to be like a power up. I could be wrong. I feel like it could be like a Super Mega Force situation. But yeah, this kind of confirms it, because yes, I think they're going to get their powers from this, but I don't think that it's just going to be Zords, because there was a photo, I do not have it here, but there was a photo talking about how Ion, it showed Ion in a cockpit and it showed a bear behind him. And it showed him piloting the Bear Zord. And in Q Ranger, only the Ranger who is bonded to its particular Zord, like the Zord that is based off of the Ranger, or the Ranger that is based off of the Zord, can pilot their own Zord, if that makes sense. So yeah, each Ranger can only pilot their own Zord because their little Q-Tama would hitch to the back, and that was their cockpit. And I feel like it's going to be a similar situation here, except we may see other Rangers pilot other color Zords, because I don't think they want to go in the direction of 12 Rangers, even though I think they should. Especially bring back like Izzy's parents or something to become Rangers and do something cool like that. Captain Shaku from Beast Morphers, bring him back. Mick is gonna come back due to a 48 second preview clip where basically Amelia is on whatever planet that she's on, and then she gives Mick a little preview. I mean, a recap of the finale of Cosmic Fury, and that whole thing ensues. So yeah, and pretty much that was everything I wanted to talk about having to do with these breaking down these images. I know I'm kind of late to this, but I digress. I got to them when I got to them. I wanted to do it for today. And I just want to say that Power Month was kind of lackluster from Hasbro. They've been kind of quiet, and it's been so bad to the point where they released a shirt for National Power Rangers Day, and last year and in the years past they did like a Fan First Friday. I was not expecting them to do that, but I was expecting them to put more effort into it. But I feel like the Power Rangers Hasbro team is very much falling apart. Like, I feel like it's falling apart, mainly because of the fact that I forget her name. What was her name? Amy? Karen. I think her name was Karen. She's on the G.I. Joe team now. She was blonde. And she was obsessed with Kimberly Hart, the Pink Power Ranger. She left to go to the G.I. Joe team, and I feel like a lot of the Power Rangers team that we had from the beginning are leaving it. And I feel like since Power Rangers may be going on a year hiatus after Cosmic Fury, I feel like this is when Hasbro is going to reevaluate their Power Rangers team, and if Power Rangers is going to be a valuable asset for them, because I feel like Power Rangers is not a cash cow for them, which is why they're not putting so much money into like marketing this brand, even though I think that they should. I feel like they're waiting for the Jonathan Edwards and Jenny Klein universe to start, and that's when they're going to really start trying to push this brand, because I feel like Power Rangers is the least profitable of all the brands that they own. So yeah, because it was National Power Rangers Day was just like a lackluster release day, to the point where like they were like counting down and releasing Marvel Legends on that day, as well as Star Wars Black Series, and Power Rangers only got a shirt, and the shirt doesn't even look great. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, no offense to the designer, I'm sure you worked your hardest, but like I personally don't think it looks great. The shirt is not for me. And moral of the story, I just feel like if I was in charge of Power Rangers, I would have done better. And that leads me to my next point. I did a short talking about how I think Power Rangers content creators should come together and make our own Power Ranger series to kind of take the place and fill the void of that year hiatus that Power Rangers is going to be taking, in order so that we're not left disappointed. Of course, we have Unworthy. Of course, we have that SPD Time Force, and the time traveling one, and then Power Rangers Bloodlines, I think it was called. We have all of those, but I feel like we should make a new one. I was thinking something like following the events of Cosmic Fury, where it's like the Cosmic Fury Rangers like following the idea of them wanting to go back and live their normal lives, and then me and say other creators such as Ranger Liz or Dawson Rider fan club, those individuals come together and we're the new people that they give their powers to. And then we continue this Cosmic Fury adventure. I feel like it could really work. But that's just me. Tell me down in the comments what you think of this fan series idea, because I actually want to do it. Even if Power Rangers content creators are not in it, I still want to do it by myself. So leave me down in the let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Because I want to know and have a conversation and debate with you guys. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you get notified every time I post a Miracle Live on this very channel. Leave down in the comments below again what you think of my fan series idea and all the stuff I had to break down. Did you agree with me? Did you not agree with me? Leave me down in the comments below, because I want to know. All my socials will be linked in the description below, and I have an Xavier Lee channel where I post vlogs and do everything basically having not to do with superheroes. So like life stuff, breaking news things. If you're interested in that sort of content, definitely go check it out over there. But yeah, if you want more content from me, you're gonna have to wait to my next video. And remember, yippee-ki-yay, let's ride.